All right, texture. This is a hard one. It's really hard to recreate these textures with our drawing tools, but it's really easy to find them with our cameras. All right, texture. This is the surface quality or feel of an object, and there are two types, actual and implied. So actual texture, this would be if you got a piece of paper and crumpled it up, right? That would be some actual texture. Your hair, the carpet. What else? Your clothing, right? Clothing can be soft, it can be rough, smooth. And then we've got implied texture, like drawing hair or a rug or tree bark. Okay, it's a little bit tougher to do that. All right, Claude Monet, he is wonderful at showing some implied textures. This whole entire drawing, I'm not sure if this is drawing or painting, I think it's a painting. Every single little mark creates the texture, right? We've got the same mark happening in the clouds, it's happening in the grass, it's happening in the trees, and it comes together to make this beautiful painting of a landscape. And lots of texture. Every little mark is creating texture. Here's Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night. You've probably seen this one before. Another famous one. Every little line, every little mark is creating different types of textures to show the different parts of the sky and the wind and the trees and the bushes over here. Lots of detail in those textures. Using line to create texture. All right, color. This is everybody's favorite. This is Franz Marc, and this is what's called fauvism. Fauvism is French for wild beast. That was a name given to a group of artists who were using these really bright, bold colors, and the art critic was basically making fun of them and calling them, oh, wild beasts, and almost as if like a bad thing. But the artists were like, whatever, we're fine being wild beasts, we're going to use that as our name. So they, instead of being insulted by it, they embraced it and became very famous for it. All right, so color, this is what the eye sees when light is reflected off an object. So if you're in a dark room and you're trying to find white socks, you can't tell which ones are white because there's no light to shine on them to show you. All you can do is use your other senses like touch and try to remember what your white socks feel like. Same thing with clothing. So if there's no light shining on the object, we can't see what color it is. All right, the three properties of color. Hue, which is a color's name, like red is a hue, pink is a hue, blue is a hue. Intensity, this is the brightness or dullness of a hue. And then value, this is the lightness or darkness of a hue. So intensity is another name for saturation. If you ever play around with photo apps, saturation is the one that can make the green, if you wanted to make the grass, if you had a picture and it had some grass in it, and you want the grass to be brighter, you would change the saturation. Okay. All right, here's Henry Matisse again, and he's got some really bold colors going on in his portrait over here. And then this is a print from Andy Warhol of Michael Jackson, also really well-known artist for using wonderful, amazing layered colors. All right, so color wheel. We've got our three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. So P stands for primary. And then we've got our secondary colors. So S stands for secondary. That is orange, green, and violet. And then we have our intermediate colors. That's the colors in between. So these are just the abbreviations, red, orange. You always say the primary color first. Yellow, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and red, violet. And this is our color wheel. All right, primary colors, red, blue, yellow. Secondary, green, orange, and violet, and then our intermediate are the colors in between. All right, so let's talk about color schemes. So complementary colors, this would be red and green, blue and orange, and yellow and violet. So you're not using them all together in one artwork. It is when you only use blue and orange in an artwork, you only use red and green in the artwork, you're only using yellow and violet in the artwork. That means it is complementary because those colors are opposite on the color wheel. Let's go back and look at the color wheel really quick. So we've got opposite directly across. Red is directly across from green. Blue is directly across from orange. Yellow is directly across from violet. And then we've got our intermediates as well. So these are opposite: red, violet, and yellow, green. Blue, green, and red, orange. blue, violet, and yellow, orange. Okay, they're all opposite of each other. All right, analogous colors. These are colors next to each other on the color wheel, and they can either be warm, that's your red, orange, and yellow, or cool, blue, violet, blue, and green. Let's go back to the color wheel really quick. So colors next to each other. So we've got our warm colors that goes from red to yellow, right? You can see that they remind us of fire and the sun. And then we've got our cool colors, violet to green. Okay, and they remind us of things outdoors, like the clouds and grass, and ice. Okay, monochromatic, that means mono means one, so a single color with black and white. So we've got 3 monochromatic photographs to look at here. This one is using white and black with violet. We've got white and black with kind of a yellow-orange color, or yellow, and then we've got white and black with red. So everything in the picture is based from one single color.